Hey guys, how's it going? We'll be making a installation video for the iBoard running boards. These are going to be the full aluminum, black powder coated 4-inch wide running boards. I'd imagine the installation is going to be the same no matter what size. This is for a 99 through 07 and a half GMC Chevy crew cab short bed, classic body style. This is the truck that is going to be going on. The truck is an 06 crew cab short bed 5'3", stock height. There is no lift, there is no lower. This is just the way it is. So we're gonna get to it. It's gonna be my first time installing them, and we're gonna get through it, man. So this is the packaging that came in. Pretty long box, and www.iboardauto.com. Just share the install tips and show off your ride. So I'm gonna get this to the garage and we're gonna open her up. All right, let's get her cut open. Okay, so the box top just slides right off after you cut off the plastic straps. Here we got our hardware. Mounting brackets. P is going to be passenger, D is going to be driver from the other videos I've seen. So this is going to be passenger front, driver front, I believe. And the other one's to say passenger rear. So this is driver center. So there'll be the center support brackets. And then passenger center. So on and so forth. Alright. Driver front side, maybe passenger front. We'll figure that out for a fact. I'm sure the instructions have the nomenclature. And then here are our boards. So the reason I got these boards is, well, this is shallower than I thought, which is not bad. The reason I got these is because they're all aluminum. There is no plastic. That's at least from what I've read. I'm gonna double check that, but it does look plastic. They are powder coated black, so the powder coating should hopefully last. Most likely for price point, they probably only did a single layer of powder coat, which again, not a bad deal for 200 something bucks. Under $200. But anyways, all aluminum, 4-inch, no caps that can break off and crack and look crappy and all that. They do have these channels for water runoff. What I am going to end up doing is most likely put a layer of grip tape, kind of like on top of a skateboard, on the top here, and then stick it down and then cut off the channels, so that way just the raised edges have that grip tape. That's most likely what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do it across the entire board or just where the actual doors are, where I would step, but that's my personal plans. But let's get the truck in here and let's see about throwing these things on. Okay guys, so working towards front of the vehicle over here, this is the driver's side. You're going to be locating the body mounts, which are going to be here, your center mount here, and then your rear mount is right there. You can see it there. Now all of those bolts are going to be 13/16. They are on there very, very tight. My impact did not get it. I had to use my 1-inch ratchet. And then I grab my jack handle, if you have a cheater bar or something like that, just a big piece of pipe that fits around the handle to break the torque. And then I'm going to use my impact to take them out the rest of the way. And we'll be right back. Okay guys, after, I don't know why I didn't turn this around, but so here in you have 5 pages. It is front and back. This here is your parts, all of your hardware, tells you how many you should have, all your mounting brackets and your boards and whatnot. Flip this over, starts the instructions. Now it gives you pretty much the passenger side, and so the driver's side is going to be the same thing, just on the opposite side of the vehicle, clearly. What I ended up doing is I grabbed all my driver stuff first, laid it out. All the passenger stuff is still inside the box here. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I broke up my hardware. You have, excuse me, you have 6 millimeters, 10 millimeter, and 12 millimeter. So 6 millimeter screws, bolts, lock nuts, and washers. 10 millimeter bolts, lock washers, and nuts, and then you have 2 12 millimeter bolts and 4 12 millimeter washers. So the first thing you want to do is to the front of the vehicle. After you remove the body mount bolt, you will find where is that? Oh, sorry. So you're gonna find this piece here, okay? It's gonna have a nut welded into it, okay? And it's gonna have a little hook that's kind of like a handle. Okay, so what you're gonna do is after you mount your front mount, okay, do not tighten anything yet, guys. You're gonna put your bushing, your body mount bushing, then the bracket underneath that, okay? There is nothing that goes underneath it. The bolt goes through that hole, okay? So sticking out should be this tab with 2 holes here, oval holes. That's where your steps are gonna go, okay? So put it through there, drive it up, do not tighten it really, just drive it towards snug so I can still move this. Now you're gonna have 2 holes in your frame, okay? These are factory holes. You do not have to drill these holes out. Factory holes towards the front of the frame. Okay, there's your motor, there's your cat, your downpipe, 2 holes. You're going to fish this bracket here, okay? Hold the handle. You're gonna put it into this hole here, and then the nut plate's gonna sit like that. You're gonna grab a 10 millimeter bolt, a lock washer, a flat washer, and you're going to thread your driver side front support bracket, DFS. For the passenger side, it'll say PFS, Papa Foxtrot Sierra, Delta Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, you're going to screw that in, finger tight, because that is a lock nut on the back. So it'll only go so tight with your fingers. Just put a finger tight, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to put the support bracket there, and you're going to bring it towards here. Now the instructions read, let's see here. Carefully push up on the support bracket until it reaches the inside hole in the mounting bracket. Bolt the support bracket to the hole in the mounting bracket with 1 10 millimeter bolt, 2 flat washers, 1 lock washer, and 1 nut. Now, to my understanding, that means push that bracket up into the inside hole, right? So that means the furthest aft hole. So you have 1 hole, 2 holes. Mine did not make it into this back hole. Mine made it into this front hole, so that's where I placed it at. Now, I will email them or call somebody and let them know that, hey, on this body style, it doesn't do that. Maybe they want to make them new instructions, but just line up your support bracket with your bracket and fish it through. Remember, 2 flat washers, 1 lock washer, and 1 nut. Now what I did is I put a flat washer behind the bolt head. I put a flat washer and the locking washer on the back along with the nut, okay? And now I am moving on to the center. So I'll see y'all back after I read that and I get that set up. All right, guys, for the center bracket, okay? So remove body mount bolt, put your bracket up. Remember, you're gonna want the 2 holes out. That's where your running boards are gonna sit. Okay, then they have the center support bracket. Now, I am not, sorry about the glare. I am not a fan of how they did this, but you have a hole cut into the body mount here, or the body mount perch that runs with your parking brake cable. Now, you have to put the center bracket, okay, across from here. Now, I'm not a fan of it because it runs really freaking close to that parking brake cable. And granted, I don't think anything will happen, but I don't like anything next to that close to anything that's safety, you know. But so you put that bracket, which is this bracket here, okay. Notice that it has 2 different size holes. One is a 12 and one is a 10. Now the 12 millimeter hole, okay, is going to go into the actual frame, into the body mount, okay. You're going to put your bolt a flat washer, a lock washer, a flat washer, and then the... Okay, so you have your center bracket, then your center support bracket that runs across here. And I'm sorry about the glare from the sun. I really do apologize for that, but it runs from this mounting hole here down across. It's going to fit into the most inboard hole on the center bracket. Okay, now this is what the support bracket looks like. Okay, like I said, it has two different size holes, a 12mm hole and then a 10mm hole. Okay, so you're going to want to take your bigger of the bolts, of all the bolts, a 12mm of course. You're going to attach it to the frame. Then you're going to get a 10mm flat washer, then a locking washer, another flat washer, and the nut. Now this is going to be the way that you put all of the hardware. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to squeeze down this lock washer flat so that it locks in. If you want to be extra cautious, you can always throw some blue Loctite on these nuts, which is what I am most likely going to do as well, just to be, you know, better safe than sorry before I tighten everything down. Now the rear, okay, all you're going to do is take out the bolt from the body mount, put it through the hole, and then attach your bracket, and that's it. There is no support bracket or anything for the rear. Okay, now moving on to the running boards. So the running boards, you're going to take these 8mm screws. Okay, they fit in here square and they slide in. Okay, now obviously you have 2, 4, 6, right? So 3 and 3. So you're going to put 3 screws on each side. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got 5 and 6 down there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the running board on here, get the screws through the holes, and we're going to make sure that the boards are level and even before we start torquing down any hardware. Okay, you don't want tweak boards, you know, in other words. So yeah, so pretty easy installation. It's not too bad. If now knowing how to do it, I could probably knock one side out, and I'm going to say probably 20 minutes. I'll give myself, you know, I'll say 30 to give myself some room, you know, because like I said, I've been pausing to do the recording, then I've been pausing to read the material, account for my hardware and all that. So like I said, I mean, if I were to get another set of these and throw these like on my mom's truck or my sister's truck, 30 minutes, I could probably, so an hour to an hour and a half, I can have the vehicle done, not having to record and not having to stop and not having to read anything. But anyway, so to start out the installation, again, we're going to do the front mounting bracket. You're going to remove all of your body mount bolts, okay, 13/16. Remember, they're in there with red Loctite from the factory, and they're torqued. Oh, I want to say they're over 200 foot-pounds. I could be mistaken, but I believe they're probably that tight. So anyways, I used a cheater bar to break those off. Then I used my impact to take them out the rest of the way. Got a lot of threads on them. Put your front bracket on, just snug it. Everything's going to be snug. Then you're going to put your center support nut in here. Remember, it goes through this hole, and then it threads on through the forward hole in the frame. Then you're going to put your support bracket on, okay? And this one has a nut on the inside, so all you got to do is do a bolt, lock washer, flat washer, okay? With this one, we're going to do a bolt, flat washer, lock washer, flat washer, nut. I work in aviation, so with me, it's a very key point that all bolts go in the direction of airflow. So obviously, if you're driving forward, if God forbid one of these nuts were to come out, you kind of at least have that forward air pushing on the head of the bolt to keep it in place. But that's just me. I highly doubt it's going to make any difference doing 60 miles an hour compared to an aircraft that's flying at 4, 5, 6, 800 knots. But that's just my little thing. So center bracket goes on. Center bracket support bracket, okay, goes from the perch to the hole in the actual mounting bracket of these steps. And then the rear bracket is simply bolted up, and you're gonna bolt it with the bracket on top of the body mount washer. So the bracket should be the first thing you see. Do not put it underneath the washer. Don't try to fit it. I doubt it will fit, but I know there's somebody out there who's gonna probably try it. Make sure that you see the actual mounting bracket of the iBoards, all right? Now I'm gonna try to fit these on and we'll see how they look. Let me get y'all set up. All right, so there is no front or back with these boards. So bring this around. Kind of just set them on there for the moment. Right there. Now, I guess the good design of these is that all you got to do really is get the bolts in the hole, and then you can drag the board back and forth where you need it. Oh, there we go. Okay, those are through. And so now you're just kind of, oh, these came up. Okay, they're all through now. All right, so now you're kind of position your boards. I'm gonna tighten up the body mounts, the actual mounts that hold the steps to the bottom. I'm gonna kind of tighten those up just to get the play out. And then I will get a level, and I'll level all this out with an actual bubble level. Like I said, they're not super tight, they're still a little movable, but I kind of like that. That looks nice. There's no wobble. Digging that, getting them as far out as I can bring them. All right, so now you are attaching these 2 flat washers and 2 locking nuts. So that's 1 washer and 1 nut per bolt. Okay, so one nut, washer. And since those bolts are in a channel with the squared head, they're, you know, as you tighten the nut, they're going to tighten up. You don't need to, there's no need to hold the bolt head. You know, that's the whole purpose of that channel, which that's pretty cool design. Saves a lot of headache and a lot of hassle. Now, a very important tip is don't cross thread these. You know, take your time, getting them on their finger tight, and then taking them down. With these being a fine thread and most likely either aluminum or very thin metal, pretty easy to strip them. So I'll save y'all the time of watching me do all that. But pretty much all I'm doing is I'm attaching the 1 washer and 1 locking nut, nylon locking nut to the bottom of those 6 screws. I'm gonna make sure everything is level, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up all the hardware. Remember, you have the 10mm that's in the frame, then you have the 10mm that attaches that support bracket to the front mount. Same thing in the center mount, and then the rear is just the 1 bracket by itself. Alright guys, so there's the final install product. They look good. Like I said, they're 4 inches, so they're not too protrusive or obtrusive, however you want to say that. They hold me. I'm 225. The wife is what I really got them for. She needs to get it out. She's only 5 foot nothing. What I ended up doing was torquing these down. Then I torqued down the support brackets, and then I torqued down the actual main bracket. Now the body mount bolts are going to be 52 to 55 foot-pounds, okay? Not inches, but foot-pounds. They're a lot tighter, or they seem a lot harder coming off because they got the red Loctite from the factory. So, you know, if you're one of those people, you need to put a red Loctite on again, by all means, go ahead and do so. But there she is. And I like the way they look. They're pretty good. And looking at them closer, they actually do have a rubber on top, so I'm not too worried about that grip tape now. But yeah, solid aluminum, rubber top. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it helps y'all out.